Hello, everyone. We hope that you are having a wonderful start to your new year. Happy New Year 2019. We want to congratulate Ilan Omar, who was sworn into Congress today as a representative for the state of Wisconsin. Ms. Omar arrived as a refugee from Kenya 23 years ago with her father and is the first Somali American to serve in Congress. So we know that every immigrant to the US brings so much value, and we look forward to seeing more immigrants and women changing the makeup of Congress to being more representative of the US population. Right before we left last week, we talked about immigration courts. With so much to talk about with them, we thought we would continue that today. I'm Raluca. I provide immigration, family law, and estate planning legal services. And I'm here with Nina Clear, my marketing and office manager. And thank you to everyone who is watching and for all your likes and comments and shares. They all help others to see our videos, and we truly appreciate your support as we love to help as many as possible with our information.
Last week, we talked about immigration court hearings, like you mentioned, where we discussed if you're able to have an attorney, but let's review that. So do you have the right to have an attorney present at an immigration court hearing?
Well, everyone is allowed to have an immigration attorney present. It is not like in criminal courts where one must be appointed to you. If you cannot afford one. In immigration court, you can have an attorney, but you must hire one yourself.
And if you don't have one at your first hearing, like if you haven't hired one, can you get an extension of that hearing?
You can request one, but it is up to the immigration judge to allow it. So it is up to their discretion. But they will often grant a 2-week extension to obtain your own counsel.
And I know that you said before that even if you hire one, you have found you're not always able to talk to your clients, right?
Yes, that is true. I have had a difficult time to talk to my clients when they are in the ICE custody or at the immigration hearings. And that is why I would like to remind everyone to please ensure a family member or friend has your information, including your A number, so that if you are detained, your case can be reviewed by an attorney so they can best represent you.
And you talked about, we'll probably do a live at another time, kind of tells you what to do. Here's your emergency list of what to be prepared for if you were detained.
Yes.
But we won't follow that more today. Let's move back to, if you're going to hire an attorney, what should you look for in that attorney?
I understand that it is difficult if you're in ICE custody to interview and hire an attorney, and often it is an emergency situation, and you must rely on family or friends to do that for you under very tight time constraints. As with any immigration attorney, I always recommend you to hire someone who is a member of AILA or American Immigration Lawyer Association at a minimum.
And what do you recommend? Is there anything you do think people should avoid when they hire an attorney?
Focusing on cost and hiring someone who has a bad reputation.
What do you mean by focusing on cost?
I have had people tell me they hired someone because they cost the most, so they thought they would do the best job. Just because someone charges a lot doesn't mean they have the skill sets you need for your situation. So when possible, find out if the attorney worked on cases similar to yours and what was their success rate. And remember, immigration hearings in Atlanta have a very low success rate. So if an attorney has a high one, that is a better indicator of success for you. I also wouldn't hire the cheapest person. This is your life and possibly permanent removal from the US. So be aware that deportation defense can cost over $5,000. I think the most important skills, education, experience, and reputation are all very important in making a decision as to who to hire.
Will you tell us why reputation is important? That's a little confusing.
Sure. If you hire an attorney who doesn't have a good reputation in immigration court, this could mean a less positive outcome for you. Maybe they are knowledgeable about the law, or they are known to be late or do poor job. And believe me, every judge and most often immigration lawyers will know. They may not share this information though, but if you can get a positive recommendation for an attorney, I would use that.
So we also mentioned this before, but just to remind everyone, if you don't speak English, you can request an interpreter, right?
You can. And in fact, the court is supposed to provide one, but you must ask for one in advance before the hearing.
And what is the best way, or what things should somebody do to prepare for a hearing?
First, if we haven't made this clear, I always recommend you hire an attorney. Your attorney should know how to present the case and the best legal arguments that support your position, and they will know to question any potential witnesses and your witnesses and the government witnesses. And you have to be honest and truthful in any paperwork you fill out. When you speak to your attorney, of course, and in any testimony you give at your hearings. I know in some cultures it is disrespectful, or rather, I guess it's respectful not to make eye contact with authority figures, such as the judge. But here in the United States, people see this as rude, disrespectful, and think that someone who won't look in the eye is dishonest. So make sure when you're speaking to the judge, you maintain eye contact and you speak loudly and clearly, because a recording may be made, and they're usually made at the hearings, and it is important to preserve an accurate record if you need later on to appeal it.
And it's also really important to only answer the question that's asked, right?
Yes, absolutely. There are two reasons for this. One is that when people talk too much, it makes them look dishonest. And second, you don't want to annoy the judge, and by not answering the question asked, you have to listen carefully. And if you don't understand the question, you can ask for it to be repeated or explained differently. And then be sure to only answer what was asked. If you can provide an answer in a yes or no answer, do that. You don't need to explain your answer unless asked to do so. So this is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching. And if you have any questions, we always welcome you to submit them to us here or in a private message. And we'll be back more often starting next week. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.